Welcome to Chapter 4 of Architectural Drafting and Design Textbook by Alan Jeffress. I'm your host, Professor Montoya, and I'll be talking about computer-aided design in drafting and architecture. And here are some of the logos of pretty popular types of software. This is Bentley Microsystem here. What exactly is CAD? You might think it refers to AutoCAD, but it really means computer-aided design and drafting in any technique or any software that goes into that field. There are two types. There's 2D and 3D. And then the third type, more for annotation, is BIM, which helps us to add our computer models and measurement. Software products might include AutoCAD, and what we're learning now, Revit architecture. There's Bentley Systems, and also Chief Architect software is out there. The Digital Canal Corporation, DSI Publishing, SketchUp is pretty popular. Graphisoft and SoftPlan Systems. Using CAD templates and design defaults. A pattern of standard or commonly used features, we're going to create things once and they're used on the following drawing, but then we're going to collect and create templates and the collection of symbols for our symbol library. We don't always want to draw the same thing over again, especially if we've done it before, and especially if we can make many types of variants of our particular architecture. We can reuse the template. So in our previous message about file systems, we need to keep track of these files of things that we've created so that we can re-employ them. Architectural businesses set up CAD systems and standards that include custom menus, symbol libraries, document drawings, and details for future use. And this is usually kept by a firm, and someone is usually in charge of it. Using architectural symbols, what we learned on the last recording, PowerPoint, was that symbols all mean the same by the National Symbols Code, and that we can, a laboratory and a shower will always have that look, so you know what you're looking at. You can also create your own CAD symbols and CAD blocks. If there's something in a family library that you don't have, you can search for it, but you're always welcome to create something. It's a little used tool, but it's very powerful. We're going to create customized symbols if needed. We're going to store in the symbols library. These are called blocks, W blocks, and dynamic blocks in AutoCAD. Sometime during the semester, we usually log into Renaissance Revit as part of the architectural program. They'll show us Renaissance Revit creating classical architecture with modern software. Here's an older edition of the book. But more importantly, the Revit Architecture Family Editor, we can do our modeling to create our own pieces within this little modeling square area. And this is how they have created this very complicated, I think that's a very complicated column, an ionic column. CAD drawings are made in layers. Each layer contains information that we can turn on or off, and this is what makes things so powerful. It may be reproduced individually or in combination, and it increases productivity. Revit has a visibility content manager similar to layers. It also shows things that we can turn on and off to clarify a particular drawing or to shed light on pieces that might be too complicated otherwise. Revit walls are also like that. They also have their own set of layers. So you can start with the outside exterior and move your way in, and that same thing is shown up on this Excel spreadsheet, indicating the little pieces that go up to compromise a wall, and it can show you what the total thickness of that wall is and also how high, and you can change any of these variables. But basically everything is working towards this idea that you have walls on one layer. Here it is. You have doors on one layer, then they're attached to the walls. You have your notes, and then everything constitutes a floor plan drawing. And this way helps you to further refine your drawings. And advantage of using CAD layers is the ability to send drawings or files on disk through the internet to contractors. Here's kind of how we proceed. We're going to start just the basic walls. It's a simple layer here. Maybe the walls and windows are on, and the door system's on, and the stairs are on. We add more information separately, which is the dimensions, some details, and then also some notes. You can reproduce things, either soft copy or hard copy. You can scale things up so you can get a better look at things. We also have two places that we work. Model space is the first thing you open up, but you could also create a sheet. And the sheet space has outside materials, and layout space, which is beyond the boundary. We'll be plotting. We'll select plotters. This is typically the same thing you do when you're sending a Word to a printer. We can't collaborate over the internet using Revit in the cloud. Each architectural program has its own features and capabilities. Smart architectural objects, this is Revit, and automated building tools make the design process effective and productive. AutoCAD, however, is lines, and each is called vector graphics. Revit Smart Architecture can create 3D models, create a 2D model, a materials list, all at the same time, and can produce a complete set of construction documents. Creating a set of architectural, how to proceed. In what comes first on a floor plan? First, start with exterior drawing of walls and room shapes. I would hold off on dimensions, and then use dimensions to check your work, I think is what's meant here. But your final dimensions usually happen a little bit later on. You are then, part 3 would probably be add interior walls, then add doors, then add windows. And then finally you can design the kitchen and the bathroom. Here's the Chief Architect software, and finally the full package of everything leads up to this point. To create documents, CAD drawings and documents. Creating interior designs, select wall, floor, and other colors, and create foundation plans. Based on the first drawing you made, you create a foundation plan. 3D will reveal something like this, cut sections. Pretty amazing to be able to see everything. This is a fully decked out model though. This is usually at the far end of things. Creating a set of architectural drawings and documents. Creating roof plans. We have an automatic roof system, or you can create them on your own. You can modify flat ceilings and other styles. You get, for a Revit drawing, you get many different things. You get the actual floor plan drawing. You could create a 3D camera view of what this little area looks like. You can also cut a section and show us what the structure will be and label that as such. You can create framing plans from the original model. You can create electrical and public and HVAC plans from the original model. And creating the 2D views and 3D views which best showcases your work. Create 2D views, 3D models, and visual tours. Use the 3D camera tool to view and record a virtual tour. That happens maybe around Module 7. We have a thing called a site plan. Once we create our initial architecture, we need to be able to incorporate the landscape. Creating site plans and landscape plans. They add bearings, property line dimensions. We're going to use a camera view to record the tour. Finally, with Revit, we also are creating a bill of materials, which really is bill of materials used, and then not actually the pricing at this time. But you can add prices to it. Creating layout sheets. The topic of EGDT 1100 is to create these sheets that all these drawings go into. This concludes the end of PowerPoint 4. Thank you for viewing.